There's a database somewhere in some windowless government building, tracking purchases that have nothing to do with weapons or survival food. They're monitoring who's buying seemingly innocent items, old projection TVs, ceramic pots, bicycle parts. Not because these things are dangerous, but because when combined with the right knowledge, they make you ungovernable. You think you're on a list because you stockpile food? That's adorable. The real list is for people buying rocket stoves that burn so efficiently they're invisible to thermal imaging, for people ordering Fresnel lenses that can generate thousands of degrees from sunlight forever, for the ones building pedal generators that can't be metered or shut off remotely. They don't care if you're prepared, they care if you're independent. Because here's what every prepper overlooks while they're obsessing over gear and supplies. The system doesn't fear your stockpiles. It fears your self-sufficiency. A population that can heat their homes without the gas company, purify water without municipal treatment, generate power without the grid, that's the actual threat to control. And they've made certain these technologies stay obscure, complicated, or mysteriously unavailable whenever you actually try to acquire them. First technology they don't want you to have? Rocket mass heaters, the invention that could bankrupt utility companies overnight. This isn't your grandfather's wood stove that smokes out the neighborhood and devours a cord of wood per month. A rocket mass heater burns at 1800 degrees Fahrenheit, so hot it completely combusts all gases and particles. The exhaust is just warm, moist air and CO2, cleaner than most vehicles. One armload of sticks heats your entire house for 24 hours because the heat gets stored in tons of thermal mass, like cob or brick. Here's why they despise it. You become invisible. No gas bill showing usage, no electrical spike from heating, no smoke signature for aerial surveillance, no dependency on any system they control. Your house stays 70 degrees in January using dead branches from your yard. The technology is 40 years old, perfected, proven. So why doesn't Home Depot sell them? Why does every building code seem specifically written to prohibit them? Why do insurance companies refuse to cover homes with them, calling them experimental, when they're older than most building techniques we use? The real kicker? They're so simple a 12-year-old could build one from scrap. A metal burn chamber, some stovepipe, and any thermal mass material. The physics is elementary, but devastating to energy monopolies. Burn wood super hot, extract all heat, store it in mass, radiate for hours. No moving parts, no maintenance, no fuel costs after construction. One winter with a rocket mass heater and you've saved thousands. 10 winters and you've stopped funding the system that controls you. But try to purchase one commercially. Try to get a permit. Try to find an installer. You'll discover they're not exactly illegal, just impossible. Every regulation seems designed to prevent them without explicitly banning them. Almost like someone doesn't want you heating your home for free with fallen branches. Second, Fresnel lenses, the permanent solar technology that makes you energy independent indefinitely. Forget solar panels that degrade, break, need controllers, batteries, inverters. A Fresnel lens is just specially shaped glass or plastic that concentrates sunlight into a beam hot enough to melt steel. It'll work identically in 200 years as it does today. No degradation, no maintenance, no replacement parts, no expiration date. One lens the size of a sheet of paper can boil water in seconds, cook food, sterilize medical equipment, melt metal for repairs. A TV-sized one can generate thousands of degrees, enough to run a steam engine, distill water, or incinerate waste. It's not electrical, so no EMP vulnerability. It's not chemical, so nothing expires. It's not mechanical, so nothing breaks. It's literally just shaped, transparent material that will outlive your great-grandchildren. Why don't you have one? Why isn't every house equipped with these permanent energy solutions? Because permanent doesn't profit anyone. No replacement filters, no fuel to buy, no parts to service. The entire economy depends on you needing things repeatedly. A technology that works forever with no input except sunlight is economic terrorism to the system. Try buying a large Fresnel lens. You'll find they're industrial only, or requiring special permits, or simply out of stock everywhere. The small ones for classrooms, available. The large ones that could actually replace your stove, water heater, or furnace, good luck. They're not illegal, just mysteriously impossible to acquire without connections. The same lens that's in every overhead projector somehow becomes a controlled item when scaled up. Third, human-powered generators, the technology that makes you an unlicensed power plant. Not those joke hand crank radios that barely charge a phone. Real pedal or crank generators that can produce 50 to 100 watts continuously, enough to run LED lights, charge batteries, power communications, run small appliances. A reasonably fit person can generate their own electricity indefinitely. No sun needed like solar, no wind needed like turbines, just calories, which you'd burn anyway. Here's what terrifies them: you become unmeterable. A pedal generator in your basement is invisible to every tracking system. No smart meter data, no usage patterns to analyze, no way to remotely disconnect your power. You're generating electricity they can't tax, can't monitor, can't control. Worse, you're proving the entire grid is optional for basic needs. 1 hour of pedaling can power LED lights for days, charge every device you own, run a laptop indefinitely. The technology is 1800 simple: a bike, an alternator, basic electronics. So why can't you buy a quality one? Why do all the commercial versions seem designed to fail, producing pathetic amounts of power? Why are the real ones, the ones that actually work, only available as DIY plans from obscure websites that mysteriously go offline? Because a population that can generate its own power is ungovernable through energy. Every authoritarian control system depends on centralized power generation. The ability to shut off electricity is the ultimate compliance tool. But if every house has a pedal generator in the basement, that tool vanishes. Suddenly, freezing dissidents in winter doesn't work. Cutting power to force compliance becomes meaningless. Fourth, gravity water filters, the permanent purification that ends water control. Not those garbage camping filters that clog after 10 gallons. Real ceramic and carbon systems like Berkey that use only gravity and can purify thousands of gallons from any source. No power, no chemicals, no replacement filters for years. Turn pond water into drinking water forever with zero infrastructure. These ceramic elements can be cleaned and reused indefinitely. The carbon lasts for years. The system works without any input except dirty water in the top and gravity. It removes everything: bacteria, parasites, chemicals, heavy metals, even radioactive contamination. One system could purify water for a family forever with basic maintenance. So why did Berkey get banned from selling in California? Why are large Fresnel lenses suddenly industrial only? It's not about safety. These technologies work better than what they want you buying. A gravity filter that works forever threatens water utility revenue. A lens that concentrates solar energy without degrading threatens the replacement economy. Think about it. None of these four technologies are weapons. They're not even complicated. Rocket mass heaters, Fresnel lenses, pedal generators, gravity filters, all proven tech that's been around forever. But they share one thing: they make you permanently independent. Not temporarily like stored food, not partially like solar panels that degrade, permanently. The system doesn't fear your gun collection, they've got bigger ones. They fear irrelevance. When you don't need their power grid, their gas lines, their water treatment, you become ungovernable through resource control. That's the real threat. You can buy a 1,000-round drum magazine at a gun show, but try finding a real rocket mass here. Ammunition is at Walmart, but industrial Fresnel lenses? Good luck. The stuff that actually makes you independent is mysteriously hard to find, expensive, or requires special permits. Here's the kicker: preppers drop thousands on generators that need gas, solar panels that degrade, batteries that die. But a rocket mass heater that burns twigs forever? Too complicated. A pedal generator that turns calories into electricity? Probably doesn't work. We've been programmed to choose dependency disguised as preparedness. Do the math. 30 years of utilities cost about $300,000. These four technologies? Maybe $2,000 to build them all. That's $298,000 not flowing through systems they control. Multiply that by millions of households. Now you see why they stay obscure. But it's not some grand conspiracy. It's worse. It's market forces and regulations protecting profit streams. The building inspector doesn't know why he can't approve your rocket mass heater. He just knows it's not to code. Stores don't stock Fresnel lenses because solar panels have better profit margins. The system perpetuates itself through 1,000 small decisions by people who benefit from your dependency. The real suppression happens to the knowledge itself. Channels teaching this stuff fight the algorithm. Forums with build plans disappear. The information gets buried under approved prepping content about buying more gear, more supplies, more things that run out. That's why if this opened your eyes, you need to hit subscribe now. Like and share isn't just engagement. It's pushing back against information suppression. Every person who learns about these technologies is one less person dependent on the system. Because here's the thing, you can build all four from salvage. Rocket NOS heater from old water heaters. Fresnel lens from a junked projection TV. Pedal generator from an exercise bike and car alternator. Gravity filter from ceramic pots and charcoal. The knowledge is worth more than all the tactical gear in the world. But knowing about these technologies won't help you when the grid fails tomorrow. Click here to watch the first 24 hours of a blackout what you need to do immediately. Because while everyone else waits for the power to come back, you'll already be 3 days ahead of the panic. The difference between thriving and dying in a blackout isn't your gear. It's knowing what to do before everyone else realizes it's not coming back on.